I have quite a number of questions from some of you, my friends. Follow up on what they need to know in DV lottery application. The most common one, and that is troubling most of you, is a question that somebody is asking: how do I get chosen in the lottery? How do I get to be chosen in the lottery? What are they looking for? Those are the common questions. What are they looking for? So, by the way, all this information is available in, you can even Google and say, what are the requirements for the US Green Card Diversity Lottery? And then you have options on to read widely on what are the things that they need to for you to meet the requirements. Quite a lot of information there, and that is where exactly where I'm getting and where I used and what I used during the research time period for my case. So guys, don't get troubled and keep on asking and maybe having problems in knowing the requirements. But when I get into that area, the the immigration lottery for the US Green Card is called Diversity Migrant Visa Program. So when you Google Diversity Immigration Visa Program, you'll get a lot of information. So there are quite a lot of requirements that you must meet. And I am very sure that this one will dictate who will get chosen and be declared a winner. So one of the commonest thing is you must fill it properly first, submission, because the commonest mistake that people do is uploading your photographs. There's a standardized way, or one, you must upload your recent photographs that are supposed to be within the last 6 months. That is photographs of yourself. When you're doing an application and you have a family and you've stated that maybe you have, let's say, four children, 2 children. Those children I forgot to tell you during my previous videos that each and every member of your family should be present when you are doing applications. So your spouse, your children, yourself should be there, apart from carrying your birth notification, birth details, that is birth certificate details. So if you need to be there physically with your children, because they need photographs, passport photographs. That is, they shall be taken their pictures, and there is standardized ways of photographs. So when you refer to the website, it states that your spouse and all your derivative children should be included in your entry, and you should give out their photos. So if you feel alone and you've just stated that you have 3 children or 2 children and you didn't take their photos and you just only mention them, part of the requirement is their photo size. So you will be taken a photo. So if you didn't present their photos, one of the qualification they will get is you will get personally, or you, the applicant, is you will get disqualified because you didn't meet the requirement. So you must present all those photo sizes. And some people do prefer doing it at the comfort of their home in using their phones. Some have made it, but it is quite challenging because there are some specifications of the photo size and even the background. The background means you cannot take a photo for application for diversity lottery in maybe an environment similar like mine. I'm a photo size sort of, but there are common preferences and requirements that you must meet. Both the ears should be visible. Your both ears should be visible in that photo. The Cyberman knows those who are feeling for you. So you must meet all those requirements. The background, what I'm talking about is the background is what is showing behind me should be white in color. And then the dimensions. So there are some specific dimensions. The dimension also will dictate the weight of the photo and the photo size. So if it goes beyond the dimensions that they are required, I believe you may not be chosen because you have not met the stipulated requirements for the application at that point. So that is why I'm saying that you can some of you might have done it at the comfort of their living room of their homes and got chosen, but it must be a very powerful phone with megapixels that meets the requirement. And when you go to a cyber, like I've been mentioning, that in due course I'll be mentioning a specific cyber that did for me. I'm yet to get in touch with the owner of the cyber in Kericho. For those who are in Kericho and their environments, if you like to use my guy, I'll simply give you his details through his permission. Of course, he will like to have you and do some photo sessions and taking it, filing it for you, by the way. So another thing that it shall be looked upon is, I told you that for one to qualify and be a diversity migrant visa applicant, another requirement is education. So you must have school education or 2 years of qualifying work experience. So equivalent education size here means at least you must meet US requirements for that education category. And in that section is you must have completed the form for Kenyans. You must have completed form 4, or you have a KCSE certificate. When you look at the site, they need at least around 12 years of equivalent to US education. So for our case, when you go to standard 8 plus the 4 years, it's around 11 and above years. So here's our KCSE meets above. It is 12 years of experience actually in common education. So you see now standard 8 member or somebody who had education up to class 8 may not meet the requirements unless you use the second option, that is telling us that you have a qualifying work experience that should be 2 years and above. In our case in Kenya, you must have been in a vocational training college. This is where we always advise people. People have been jokingly taking for granted the commonly used word polytechnic, which is so much offensive when people are told the form 4 leavers or who just completed form 4, when they are told go and have some skills in our TVET schools. It counts when it comes to the US. So you must have some skills. If you didn't attain a KCSE certificate or you never got a KCSE certificate, try to join a vocational training and gain some skills which are more than 2 years of experience, and you must have been working. So they don't encourage, here in America, they don't encourage people who have been sitting down and not hardworking. So that is what is needed. So when you are doing your applications and you mention that you are jobless, what do you expect during the lottery applications, or if you didn't meet the experience? Because in that form it has some it is detected by their system automatically. So if that place is blank or you might have stated something, definitely when it is being rolled, bear in mind that this is something that is called, it is a randomized computer drawing. So when a computer is randomly made to select selectees randomly, drawn to run to choose specific persons that meet the requirements, I'm very sure if we can use that system of like in Kenya, when people are being chosen for a job category, there are some short listings, so first persons first that meet the requirements. So the sorting out first, if the first sorting out, you are taken off by you didn't meet the requirements of the photo size, the background, definitely the first persons to be knocked out will be people who have maybe yellow background, maybe blue background, such things. So you must first prepare yourself. If I were you and I want to apply for a US green card, I will visit their site. It has a lot of information. Keep on reading, read, and understand. Anything that you may not have understood, you can get back to us, people who have used that kind of information to the letter, and then you will get the assistance from whatever information you will find in the site. So I keep on receiving questions day by day. When anyone watch any of my videos, I won't miss questions that guys ask, and that is why I always like taking an opportune time, that when I get an opportunity, like for today, I have a very short period of answering. So I do answer the questions as they come. If I may not have gotten to your questions from any of my platforms, I do definitely know that one of these fine days I will get to answer some of your concerns. And maybe to sum it up, we've just agreed that, guys, I may not be an expert again, but I have the knowledge after reading on this information extensively before I came to America, and when I was preparing, I have the information. I'm here to guide you, and I'm here to tell you how I did it on my own. Use my information, my explanation on how to apply for US green card. So at least today, in a summary, you've gotten to learn that. Prepare adequately before you go. Read all the requirements. It has a lot of requirements. It speaks about you need to know your city, where you were born. Of course, date of birth I have talked about. You must know if your country is eligible. Of course, if you come from Kenya, you must. We have also entrant photographs, so it should be taken at that time and uploaded for all of you who are applying. For a principal applicant, that is whoever is applying on behalf of the family members, you must meet the requirements of you have a KCSE certificate 4, form 4, I believe form 4, yes. And then there is something called mailing address you should know. So before you go there, by the way, when you're filling that application form, it runs for some minutes. So if that time expires, it takes you back again for another session of whereby you had saved. So prepare adequately before you go. We have sections of phone numbers. So at that time and day, you must provide phone number. You must provide your email address. So don't get to a scenario whereby you're getting to a cyber again, and when you're asked by the cyber guy that what is your email number, you say, oh, I had one. And the one you are providing, you don't know if it is functional. So you must have a functional email number that you can log in. Functional email number here, I mean, email address means it must be running. You must be receiving mails. You must be getting or have access to that email address. So those are some of the requirements you make before you do. So it's also talking about highest educational level. So in that highest educational level, you should be able to state when and the exact dates of, as per your certificates, when you completed your form 4, when you completed your college. It has all those information. So you see, you must also carry all your professional certificates so that you will refer. If I were you, I'll go through the requirements in the site. I'll write down each and every item as per the requirements. And then when I get to the application portal, I will provide. So it has all the details. So it says that failure to list your eligible spouse or list someone who is not your spouse may make you ineligible as a DV principal applicant. So you must list your spouse. You must list your spouse if you have one. And in this point in time, don't go to the cyber with a predetermined thought that I want to marry maybe so and so. and yet you don't have any marital document. So it must be honesty. You must list your spouse, even if you are currently separated from them, unless you are legally separated. So you must list. So don't think that when you married previously, you are not, you won't list. If you are a divorcee, you list that spouse's name, and you must produce a document that shows that you are no longer, you are under divorce or separation. If you and your spouse are legally separated, your spouse will not be able to migrate with you through the DV program. So if you have a current marriage and you have a running marriage certificate, it means that whoever is married to you at that point in time and you have a marriage certificate is a legal spouse to you. And then it has a lot of information you should know about number of children, list the name, date of birth of your children. Again, I mentioned about going to the cyber, you carry all your documentation so that you refer the exact dates. Make sure you are the cyberman is typing, or you are the one who are filling these things. Confirm. That is where your spouse comes in. Should be seated just right side behind you and confirming the date. If we understand that there are some typing errors, you may press on another button unknowingly and now you want to submit. So check on the numbers. So it has a lot of information. Married children, so who are already aged 21 or older when you are submitting, your entry are not eligible for DV. I had mentioned in almost an immediate video that you may have children who are 21 years and above and are married. They are not under you. So it's clearly talking about, so, and it's further saying that however the Child Status Protection Act protects children from aging out in certain circumstances. If you submit your DV entry before your unmarried child turns 21, so let's say your child is 21 by the time you're filling, and then at that period maybe she get married and the child turns 21 before visa issuance, it is possible that he or she may be treated as though he or she were under 21 visa processing purposes. So this is a common question again. Somebody says that what if the birthday of my child at that time when I was applying was 21, and maybe going for 21 years old, maybe it was born in December, and maybe the interview will be the next year. So by December, this child will turn 22, and you are applied for her in November. So May in the next year or in any other year when you are declared a winner, means that the following year again, that same year you will attend your interview. By that time, the child is 22 years old. That is why this instructions is talking about that it shall be treated in a special way, though that he or she were under 21 during the visa processing period. So again and again, this site has a lot of information, and that is where I get the only differences I have in mind, because I had read, and it also spoke about your children, not children, your parents, and commonly asked questions. They are answered in that section. I like to mention about the photo again, just to repeat, because that is the common mistake that people does, and that is, I think this is the place whereby people get disqualified, because I told you the system is drawn and it has its specification, so it picks who met the criteria of application. So again, doing it alone for the first time and you've never done, I tend to believe you're wasting time, just like me. The first time I did on my own. I didn't measure on these specifications. I didn't measure on this specification that says that the photos that you are presenting should be colored. So you see, you may do it and maybe it's not a colored photo. In focus, focus means it has to be everywhere in your face is visible. The size also, the head it should be in between 1 inch and 1 and 3/8 inches. That is 22 by 35 millimeters. And then 50% and 69% of the image total height from the bottom. So from here to the shoulders upward should be 50% and 69% of the image total height from the bottom. So these guys knows how to balance it. So the photo should be somewhere balanced from that region. So there's a way of balancing using the appearance, just the same way I'm appearing now in the screen, and then now you come to the face. So these guys knows. So the first person, okay, the person who is doing all these things on his or her own for the first time may not even pick the millimeters, even the resizing of it, and then editing inside a computer they have some specific applications that they use to do the resizing, to do the picture editing, and then they present it. So I had mentioned that it should have been taken within 6 months, taken in front of a plain white background, and then taken in full view, directly facing the camera, of course, all those things. And then it should have natural facial expression. Both eyes should be open, of course. The clothing you normally wear on a daily basis, you can prefer. Uniform should not be worn in your photo. Expect religious clothing that is worn daily. Do not wear a hat or a head covering that obscures the hair or hairline. A lot of information. And then headphones, don't put on your headphones, wireless gadgets, hand-free devices. Of course, you should not put on eyeglasses like mine. You remove your eyeglasses. And if you normally wear a hearing device or similar articles, they may be worn in your photo. So if you have an impairment of your hearing or you have an hearing aid, it should be on during your time and your period. So you've been told you have a place. So again, when you're presenting these photos, I told you it needs a lot of expertise. That is, again, I'm referring you to the renowned guys who have done it successfully and presented just like me. They did for me, somebody did for me, and has been doing all along and along. So when you're told that you present these in JPEG, that is JPEG format, so that photo should be in that format. And then it should be also the weight. Now this is what I was talking about, the size. It should be 240 kilobytes in file size. You see where failure has been. So don't just simply take a photo, any photo, and then you forward it. You say, I've done it. Those are some of the things that will make you. So it is it should be in an aspect ratio of equal width. That is now when presenting equal width. It should be a square. It should be a square. So it should be 600 by 600 pixels in dimensions. Additionally, it could be 2 by 2 inches, or that is 51 versus 51 millimeters. It's talking about scanned at a resolution of 300 pixels per inch. So 12 pixels per millimeter. Experts again knows that. So how many of your phones has those powered megapixels, or maybe 300, that will qualify you to make such resolutions? So it has a lot of tips that I believe whoever has been doing it successfully for most guys should be borrowed there. Finally, guys, I've been telling you in each and every item of my video that keep following me. I gather information, and I have some of the information in my fingertips. I get to answer you. Thank you for following me in my Facebook. Thank you for following me in my YouTube. All of them have my name, Evans Saboge. So when you log into my Facebook account, you follow me. I've been saying, kindly don't friend request me. I don't have any space. For YouTube, it's Evans Saboge. S is just only one. It combines Evans as well as Saboge. Thank you so much for your support. I've been receiving tremendous responses and questions. I also use the only knowledge that I have. Again, I've been mentioning I'm not an expert, but I'm trying my best to state to you here in this channel everything I've done for me to be here, and I use each and every bit. God bless you. Thank you, guys.